So I noticed just when I was getting us a glass of water that the Brandon Wheat Kings towel I brought back to you from Brandon is by the sink.
It's now my dish rag to wipe the sink up. The day, it was my mom. I don't know where she pulled it out of, some drawer or other, because I haven't seen it in like a good year. I had some friends over, and I'm just like, Mom, it's from Brandon. It's from Brandon. And everybody's just looking at me going, wow, you date guys with the whitest names ever.
Oh, you get a lot of shots. Everybody come to their net. We just have to get more and more pucks to the net.
Well, that's the key. We got to get the puck on net.
What were you saying about putting pucks on net?
Puck on the net. He's got that nick for the net too. He just throws puck on net
and keep putting pucks on net.
Continue to put pucks on the net.
Pucks on net and driving it, making it a hard night on it.
Live on tape from Geeta's apartment, her palatial estate on the 23rd floor. This is Pucks on Net, a Vancouver hockey podcast that doesn't talk about fantasy or fancy stats, but we might be. There was a tweet that was delivered our way. There might be a name change, etc., nothing important. We're a day late. The city shuts down because of snow. Geeta?
Yes.
What's your usual commute time like?
From Surrey to...
You don't want to say where you work or
Sorry.
live. From your place of employment to your palatial estate on a good day.
My commute can be anywhere from like 50 minutes to just over an hour-ish.
And how long did it take you to get home to just Burnaby yesterday?
Just Burnaby, it took me 3 hours.
So what?
Like exactly 3 hours from start to finish.
Whistle out all the place names, remember, so people can't, stalk Geeta.
Vancouver? It's in the iTunes description. They know where we are.
They know exactly where we are.
Surrey.
Yeah.
And Burnaby. We don't want people tracking this girl.
And
whistle that.
What did you see? Where were you? What did you see the most of that you never thought you would look at so much in your life last night? Like Scott Road SkyTrain Station, maybe, or
we're just pinpointing exactly where I was.
Patella.
I was trying to get across the Patello Bridge. I sat on King George Highway for exactly 2.5 hours.
Oh, did anybody try to rob you? It's Surrey.
Well, I locked all the doors. I sent you a very poetic text that said, Ryan, I've been sitting here so long, I've watched the sky turn its lights out.
Yeah, that was true. It was a little more poetic. It was something about day turns to night turns to day, dawn of the new dusk, etc.
Sunset, sunrise, sunset.
I had time to write lyrics to a song, some
poetry. You'll sing that at the Christmas party this week.
Yeah, it was quite the evening.
What are you talking about?
I'm just saying my mic sounds a lot quieter than your mics in my ears.
Oh, okay. How about now?
I don't know. How does that sound?
I'm looking at the levels. You sound good.
All right. That's all.
And Geeta's. Thanks for joining us wherever you got us from, iTunes, Stitcher, wherever you get your podcasts from. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at PucksNetCA or PucksNetCa. Thank you, Geeta.
You're welcome.
I'm in the process of getting the podcast the Twitter account verified.
Mm-hmm.
And in the description of why I want it verified, I said, because nobody will give us at PucksOnNet, just regular at PucksOnNet. Mm-hmm. So I said, please, and I made it seem like it was a big problem.
Yeah.
It's not that big of a problem. We just want the blue check mark.
Oh, what if the people at Twitter are listening?
We really want the blue check mark, Twitter, and we'll just leave it at that. And please, just that check mark would look great. P Mac, can you imagine that? You tell a nice little gal on the street on a little podcast, here's the Twitter account, blue check mark.
Wait.
Whoa, I might have.
I have been thinking about that. And if we somehow got the Christmas miracle of we got
Pucks on Net.
Just Pucks on Net, I think we have to keep it.
Yeah.
Like, tradition is important.
Oh, yeah.
Paul, what do you think?
I was just going to say, if I could tell some nice young woman on the street that we had a blue check mark, I might have a girlfriend, in the foreseeable future.
Pal, you and me
both. It could
both.
Change everything.
You'd be so busy, we wouldn't be able to do these Tuesday podcasts. Oh, God, we're so lonely. Okay.
Wow.
Hey, like our Facebook page. It's a holiday season.
Just whistle out that entire part.
No, I'll leave that in. That's funny. Hey, 4th annual Pucks on Net Christmas party's coming up, guys. Couple days.
Wait, I never thought we'd make it to the 4th annual anything. That's commitment.
I think
It's
so.
true. I didn't think this would last longer than 8 episodes. What are we on now? 165.
This is episode 128.
Close enough.
Which
For a bunch of commitment folks.
listen,
We're really dedicated.
you get right in the pocket and you say we do this and this and that, and you think of it right now. We're doing a podcast on Tuesday because the snowstorm literally the city was flipped upside down. I'm yelling at people on the bus. Things are freezing. Paul's snowed in. He dug himself out. And then on Saturday, we're doing the Christmas party podcast, which is always my favorite. And then we're done. We're done till January 5th.
We're done until NFL playoffs.
Exactly.
And Bachelor.
But I mean, oh God, no, don't get me started on that.
It's been a fun week, though, huh? I got to dig myself out. It was kind of like a early Arcade Fire song or something.
Oh, that's a good song.
Which one? The one where they sing about digging themselves from their window to the
Yeah,
other person's?
which is what you did.
Yeah.
You're like, neighbor.
Dug my way down to the office downtown.
Now, I know we're taking a couple minutes before we talk about hockey, but
Yeah.
Paul, you lived the life of a homeless man
Oh.
on Sunday night.
Yeah, I haven't gotten much sleep the past few nights. Sunday night I got home. We worked until midnight running a broadcast.
Yep.
And I got home and my uncle had allegedly fixed my furnace, which was working,
Right.
but the display wasn't working properly upstairs.
Okay.
It was not working at all when I got home, and it was below zero up on the mountain and snowing. It was like an ice storm up there that night, actually. So I got home, and it was about 4 degrees in the house, I think. And I could find the space heater, and I eventually did. So I got, 6 to 9 a.m. or so I slept on Sunday night.
And you didn't even have a bed. You were sleeping in a pile of cardboard that was folded down.
I cannot,
with leaves covering him.
cannot confirm or deny that. But yes, I'm basically squatting in a house that's falling apart.
You can sleep on my couch.
Yeah, I got a couch too.
It was a snowstorm,
He's
ice storm
prideful.
outside. I sent an email to my mom
I might not make
she
it out
owns
of
the
the
house. She owns the house. I'm renting from my mom and my uncle.
Yeah.
And was just this is kind of ridiculous, and I can't even drive away because I have bald tires on my car right now. I was foolish. I was sick the week before, so I couldn't get my snow tires put on in time.
I feel bad because there's people that listen to this podcast, in the prairies, in Alberta, heck, even Kelowna.
Anywhere on the pipeline.
And
route.
their houses are negative 40 inside when they try to sleep at night, right?
But we talk we couldn't do the podcast. The city was shut down because of snow.
Right.
And it takes one Porsche SUV with summer tires on to careen into a pole, and then a bus hits that, and then another bus, and then nothing. Gridlock.
How much snow actually hit Vancouver? Because I didn't come in yesterday, and when
I
I came in
didn't
today,
either.
there was almost nothing. There was a little bit on the sides of the street, but we
You
got
know
3-4 inches up on the hill, which isn't a lot, but it was also really cold, so it froze into ice
And
almost
I didn't
immediately.
even look out the window. I drove in and I didn't even look around.
Yeah, it didn't snow overnight, so everything kind of just froze.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm a little pissed off because my birthday is on Thursday, and snowstorm could really change my birthday plans.
And the Pucks on Net Christmas party. People might get snowed in for that.
a blizzard Christmas party.
Forgot. My parents are like, move home immediately.
They don't want you driving?
They don't want me driving from here to there to wherever I need to drive to.
Wherever it is, you gotta
yeah,
go.
exactly.
But yeah, anyway, I'm taking transit now. I'm not using my car until I get the snow tires back
But it
on.
only-
'Cause I know it's not much, but I live halfway up a mountain.
In a
and-
palatial estate of your own.
and yes, and the roads do turn into like ice rinks.
Yeah.
So
You're lucky. I can't SkyTrain. I fear getting stabbed.
well, I
Listen,
can't SkyTrain either from where I live.
When
There's
I-
a bus, it runs once an hour. I have to be on time for it, or I wait.
You'll accidentally take the Evergreen line. You'll wind up in Coquitlam, and you'll say, "This isn't where I was supposed to go." But
Or was it? We don't want people to know.
Geeta works in Maple Ridge. When I take the SkyTrain to Surrey Central to go on a road trip,
Yeah.
I'm generally afraid for my well-being. So
Yeah.
it's nowhere downtown am I afraid.
Bunch of babies.
Oh.
I grew up in Surrey.
I don't want to get stabbed.
You're one of those. I'm from South Surrey.
Don't tell people it's South Surrey.
really north White Rock.
Rex my cred. I grew up 3 blocks north of White Rock. That's still Surrey.
It's like when I say I'm from East Van.
So Paul and I were at a ramshackle Christmas party for our employer tonight.
All right.
We were watching the Canucks game,
Yeah.
and what did we see, Paul?
Everyone was really worried that it was Troy Stetcher that got knocked flat on his ass by.
This city really plays favorites.
Yeah.
No, I was really concerned because that did not look good. We weren't watching it and the sound wasn't on.
Yeah,
so I'm not even 100% sure what happened because we are
Yeah.
recording immediately after that game.
Is there an update? Should we-
He's fine.
Okay.
He's coherent. He's speaking. His
Thank God.
limbs are moving. He just got absolutely destroyed behind the New Jersey Devils net by noted goon, noted shitbag, noted piece of garbage, noted beaver-looking mother.
Corey Schneider hit him?
Yes, Corey Schneider, the goon. He said, "I don't like the look of this guy," and he said, "I'm going to take care of business."
Wait,
myself.
no, it was that guy, that high draft pick from that year, Tyler Sagan.
Yes. No.
Wait a minute. Wrong team.
Oh, sorry.
Yes, Tyler Sagan Hall. Taylor Hall absolutely obliterated in the cleanest, the ultimate, please, you should
Yeah.
keep your head up, kid.
I had to
hit.
see it again. We were having dinner and stuff, so I didn't give it proper
Yeah.
attention.
He
But
probably felt real remorse.
Yeah, and
I hope.
what the worst thing about it is the fight Jason Megna, whoever that is, I think he won a contest to play for the Canucks.
Okay.
So he's out there, and
Is he a sick kid?
yes.
Can't say that. Sorry.
He won a contest. So he's like, well, shit, you have to drop your gloves and
Yeah.
kind of wrestle and say, hey, that's bad.
Okay.
And so he starts wrestling Taylor Hall.
Yeah.
Everybody piles in because
Right.
it's Taylor Hall. It's
Yeah.
your best player. And like Lucas Spiza jumps over.
Lucas Pisa jumped over the boards?
He was on the ice. Yeah,
Oh.
fifth man. So, he gets the instigator. But he jumps over Philip Larsen, who's laying on the ice behind the bench.
No.
And he accidentally kicks him in the head.
Okay, of course Pisa would
Of
do
course.
that.
Everybody gasped when that happened.
No, but it's like of all the Spiza things you can do, it's accidentally kick a knock. I don't know if he was knocked out or what, but Philip Larsen's laying there.
We shouldn't laugh, but that sounds god awful, and like it would happen to Lucas Pisa.
Yes, if only Lucas Spiza could do that. And
There was a couple of pushes, in the scrum, and Jacob Markstrom was in there trying to be like, guys, what's wrong with you? Calling the trainer over. They did get the stretcher out right
Yeah.
away, but it was frightening. Like,
you don't know. You if you're not watching the play, you don't really know what happened.
Yeah.
You don't know if he hit his head. It looked like it was just a very solid
Yeah.
shoulder to shoulder clean
Okay.
hit and just knocked down. But I mean, the stretcher was out there right away. But yeah, it was a shock to see it. You don't expect that from noted goon Taylor Hall.
No, and obviously coming from Taylor Hall, it probably wasn't deliberate. Like I'm going to attack this guy and cause injury.
And what's weird is the Canucks played the Devils last November,
Okay.
and they fought like 3 times in the game. Jake
Yeah.
Virtanen had a fight, so there's this weird nonsensical rivalry between the Devils and the Canucks because maybe to
Yeah.
see who loves Corey Schneider more.
Okay. It'll be
I'm-
great when they meet in the Stanley Cup Finals.
Yes. Yeah.
in 7 years. Anyway, that was tough to see, and we hope the best for Philip Larsen, and we hope the best for Derek Dorsett, as the information has come out this week about his injury being more serious, I think, than anyone.
What's his
thought.
injury? No, inform me, guys.
He has like a neck injury, and what's weird about it is Willie once again goes into the speaking to the media, and he says, "Oh, he's had this injury dealing with stuff for 9 years now." And I'm like, "Okay, so he's had this nagging injury for 9 years, and you sign him for a 4-year extension when you know you have this injury problem, and it's a neck problem if I remember correctly." But then that's kind of what the snarky opinion online is. But in reality, there's a lot of injuries you can deal with on a day-to-day basis and tough it out. But he's out. But even with him on the IR, P Mac, Jake Virtanen is still not leaving Utica.
And that's why.
Probably not, but
He scored in Utica,
That's fantastic.
and he had a meet and greet at the mall,
Oh, I saw the pictures. That's adorable. Doing what he should be doing.
getting his stuff at the mall.
Yeah. Getting stuff at the mall.
Oh, I didn't even know there
If
was
he
a...
had some foresight, he wouldn't have had to come back.
I was already here earlier buying Old Spice, and here I am again.
So is the real issue here what Willie says to the media?
Yes, it's really starting to become that. And Trevor Linden, did you hear his...
he said it was 5 or 6 years. It wasn't 9
Okay,
years.
sorry, I withdraw. But even if you have an injury, a nagging injury for 5 or 6
Yeah.
years, and
It's prior to signing this long-term deal.
it's known, and so you just hope that it wasn't this. It's like, well, shit, he's gonna be on the IR for most of this year, but we got to get him in those final 2 and 3 years
Yeah.
of his deal.
Someone stop coaching Willie on
It's-
what to say.
Cervical fusion surgery. That is the technical term.
Let's go to Dr. P Mac for his medical minute
No,
on
no.
Derek Dorsett.
Call up Mark Recchi. Don't talk to Dr. P. Mac.
Well, a guy's got a concussion.
Dr. Mark Recchi's the guy you want to talk to.
Hard
about
to
all
believe
injuries.
he could go see a movie with a concussion. I think he's faking it, but hey, that's
He
just
was wearing 3D goggles. It's fine.
Can you imagine
That's Mark Recchi's.
medical.
Let's be clear on that. That's Mark Recchi, not Ryan saying that.
Dr. Mark Recchi.
Sorry.
Alleged doctor.
I heard he went to school with Dr. Mario.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, they were in the same
They have
graduating class.
a similar skill set.
Yeah, they were at Yale Medical School in the 80s together.
Gotcha.
So I've been
Disc degeneration in his neck. I wanted to make sure I got it right.
Is it disintegrating inside his body?
Degenerating.
So what did they do, Dr. P Mac? Did they like put a fake disc in, or is it they fuse it together with a big bolt?
Dorsett's surgery will be performed by Dr. Robert Watkins.
Oh, he's good.
Of the Marina Del Rey
He-
Hospital Spine Clinic in Los Angeles.
He also took out my gallbladder last year.
Did he?
He took a break from spines and he said, "I'm gonna get this out for you."
Okay.
It also involves non-surgical treatment and rehab. And they're just hoping that he'll actually get to play hockey again because this could be career-threatening.
Oh.
This is Dorsett.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was career-threatening.
I mean, they're being optimistic, but this
Yeah.
is the type of thing that, you could just go, it's not worth it. He's 30
Yeah.
years old.
Thanks for coming
You
out.
can have another 5 years in the league, but I mean, with a guy of his skill set, it's hard to make it past
Right.
33,
But he's
34.
got an education. Isn't he one of those guys?
Well, he played for Medicine Hat,
Oh.
so he probably
That's
got
an education in itself, Ryan.
he probably got the pass of you don't have to go to school, kid, because you're going to the Memorial Cup. So
You know what? If Willie gets let go in the short to long-term future, as people assume he will, as all NHL coaches do,
Well,
he'll probably end up opening up a nice little pub in Medicine Hat, maybe call it Tigers.
Could he not coach
And
the
Derek,
Tigers?
why would he want? He could run a pub in Medicine Hat.
You don't think he's good enough to coach the Tigers?
I didn't say that. I said it would be more fun. And Derek Dorsett will be waiting tables, and he'll pay him way too much money to do it on a long-term contract.
Why wouldn't he be the bouncer? He's clearly out of his skill
Hey.
set. His role should be bouncer, not table waiter.
He could do both.
He can.
I believe Derek Dorsett is a good man.
There's a Bo Horvat kid in the kitchen just ready to work harder and have a more prominent role than Derek Dorsett.
Just leave Derek alone. I hope the best for him in all seriousness, though.
No, absolutely.
So, let's talk about I have a new favorite player, guys.
Okay.
His name is
Yeah.
really short. It's only got 2 letters.
Is it Bo?
There goes the... What about Shashnikov?
Slow, sneak off.
This podcast feels like it's starting to...
It's great.
Okay.
It's fine.
All right.
It was solid.
No, we're going good. Paulie, did you... Bo Horvat clearly had his coming out party on Saturday night on Hockey Night in Canada against the Maple Leafs.
Did he school Austin?
He played a really good game. He scored in the shootout. I can't remember if he scored a goal. No, I think it was... I'd have to bring out the box sheet. But he had a great game. And he played about 19 minutes because when the Canucks played and were embarrassed by the Ducks, I think it was like 14, 15 minutes that line played.
Yeah.
You were there for that.
Yeah, no, I was in the room. I tweeted out the quote. And,
What was the quote?
he just said, "Oh yeah, Bo probably could have played a couple more minutes. Probably could have played that line a couple more minutes."
But Jack Skilly's got to get out there and try to win the
He
game.
said, the fourth line was doing real well out there. I real good out there. I had to Had to give them their due, and I wanted to get Louis out there. Had to get Louis out there.
With the fourth line.
No, Louis
because everybody should have a chance to play.
Louis playing quote unquote second line.
Now, Geeta, I'm gonna propose it. I'm gonna propose
Okay.
a hypothetical to you.
All right, do it.
You're coaching these Canucks.
Yeah.
You got 3 minutes left on the clock.
Right.
You're down a goal.
Yeah.
TV timeout in your favor.
Yeah.
You're down 1 goal to the Ducks. Do you play your fourth line of Skilly, Gauntz, and Magna? Or do you play your hotshot Bo Horvat, Sven Berchi, and Uncle Alex Burrows, your best line, or maybe the Sedins? What do you do?
What about that Chaput line?
So I have 3 lines or the 1 line. I'm going to go with any one of my 3 lines that are playing really well. Probably one of the top 2 lines because I'm a professional hockey coach. I'm not coaching Little League or Pee Wee hockey where everybody needs to play because they're going to get a participation trophy at the end of the season.
But here's the thing. On Willie's lineup sheets, every game, the Chaput line is listed as number 2 because Louis Ericsson's on it. The other 2 members of the line are third, maybe fourth liners.
In the AHL.
Probably AHL or
Is that what
one of
bumps them up?
Yes, it's
Because they
strictly line placement. There's a chalkboard. Chaput is automatically on the second line.
Like he'd be more credible if he had just said, "Look, I'm rolling 4 lines," and then they were up.
Yeah, so now it's like, well, I want to get them some lines, so I got to get... They need somebody to sit him down and say...
Well, that's the thing. It goes right back to what I asked you earlier. Is no one media coaching Willie and he's just allowed to say whatever the comes to his mind?
Nobody's media coaching anybody because Trevor Linden was he had a line this week.
Oh, you can go a lot higher than that. No one's media coaching anyone. Donald Trump is getting away with murder all over the place.
I was
Literal
watching
murder. No.
I was watching his announcement of Secretary of State, and I'm looking at it, just the visual, nothing, not what he's saying. And I'm like, how come no one's told him that his head is tilted to the side? And that's not right.
Did he announce his Secretary of State?
Because he's trying.
It's like it's some general.
Schloshnikov.
No, but it's
Schloshnikov.
It's
He
not
took
Mitt
someone right, comrade.
It's not Mitt. He made Mitt grovel and then didn't give him anything.
Yeah, he took him out to dinner.
That's about right.
But everybody in the Canucks organization seems to need media training.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say that night with the Anaheim Ducks game, and I know it's not a surprise. On Twitter, it was everywhere about why is Bo not playing more? But honestly, the press box was a fire. Everyone was. I walked into the the downstairs where Willie does his press conferences, and I heard 2 guys talking. I said, are we talking about Bo's minutes? And they kind of laughed and said, yeah.
Yeah, everybody.
Everyone, that was the nonstop topic, and he did get asked. I said, yeah, Louis, fourth line, could have had a couple more minutes was basically the sum up of the quote. And it's everyone can see this.
To lose a game.
And even on the power play, you've still got the Sedin unit, which is, granted, having some success once in a while.
Yeah.
They're still playing a minute and a half of every power play, and then maybe Bo gets to skate out for that last 30 seconds. But I mean, by the time they get out there, that's usually just the last 15, 20 seconds.
Is he being told who is his first line, his second line, his whatever line, and who he needs to be playing more because a lot of money has been invested in certain people?
You bring up a great question, which is a question I wanted to propose to you guys.
Yeah.
Because Trevor was he had a line, and it was basically, we can't strip down the team, we can't do a rebuild, usual rhetoric, but he singled out the Sedins.
Okay.
He's like, I can't let these guys, franchise guys,
Right.
go down there and say, you're going to waste your last 2 years of your contract because we're rebuilding, which is fine. I get it. I understand what he's saying, but that's not really, it doesn't make you sound credible.
They're still finishing third spot from the bottom of the league last year, and this year with the injuries, it is hard to believe that they will achieve a playoff berth.
Yeah.
So it's I can't do this to you guys. You're gonna have to settle for finishing third in the year because we're there for you, instead of last in the league. Honestly,
you get what they're trying
icky.
to.
It's icky.
Yeah, I know they want to have a career Canuck in the Sedins and have that feel good story of only play with one team, but that's gonna get in the way of fixing the team 2 years quicker. because if they're going to try and half-ass this thing to keep the Sedins happy, or I don't know if they're trying to keep them happy. The Sedins are smart players, and I think it was Dan Murphy tweeted. He's like, the Sedins are a lot of things. They're also very smart, and if they don't, they know this team's not gonna make a run at anything. And it's just bad quotes to say that give you that much more doubt about the organization from a fan base.
But that's the thing. Like, who's doing their communications right now?
I think an intern from junior high out in Burnaby. All I know is whoever's doing it won't give Pucks on Net media accreditation. Am I right?
They don't bring any podcasts in. You already got me on the inside, Ryan. Come on.
I was so excited, Paul. On the Thursday night game, he sends me a text in the morning, and he's like, I thought maybe he might have had mono or strep throat, something contagious, the kissing disease. Yeah, ladies.
I didn't even get any kissing. I thought I had mono.
It's because I typically cough on him.
Public transit and Geeta, that'll do it every time.
I didn't see you there. Sorry. And so he asked me to fill in for him. Okay. And I was just like, oh, here we go. Hard-hitting questions in the scrum. But I was...
the doctor said it was a sinus thing and not contagious, so I went, even though I still feel pretty out of it.
And so he opted now to get rid of the other contagious thing, which would have been giving me media accreditation at the Canucks game. So I was this close to chopping a fear off the bucket list.
Okay.
One of these days, both of you guys are on my film list. I trust you both.
That's really sweet.
I always trusted Geeta, and then after I saw Ryan's Matthew Tkachuk interview, I was like, I can trust Ryan.
Right.
But not Ty Ronning.
That was a good one too. I've interviewed Ty. He's an easy one. Matthew Tkachuk, though, I was impressed.
Thank you.
I've worked on the other side of the industry. I feel like there's something off.
I just hope there's a Stars game that I'm sick for that I can send you to.
Can you imagine?
I want the report.
No, because I can't talk to the Dallas Stars.
You just put your phone there and just go.
Why am I making Jason Spezza sounds into the phone?
Because you're a product of your own environment.
Yeah,
you're mirroring because it would be Jason Spezza.
No, you're in the scrum, but you're holding the phone to your own mouth. And he's just looking at you. What's going on?
I think the Stars have one more game back here.
You're still a big Spezza guy or Spezza girl, right?
I'm still a bit of fan, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, because half the time you interview these guys, they are shirtless. You know that, right? Yeah.
Now Geeta's smoking a cigarette at that point. What would it take for you to give Geeta to fill in for you to do a Dallas Stars game?
Oh, if it was a Dallas Stars game, I would totally call Geeta first. I'm sorry, Ryan.
Would you?
Would I do it?
Would you put on a sharp blazer with your legal pad and ask Tyler Seguin the tough questions?
Well, as long as you guys gave me maybe the questions to ask, so I'm not there making them up as I go along.
How many?
That's the job. Yeah. I just watch the game and ask questions about what I just saw.
Here, ask me a generic question. I'm Tyler Seguin.
How'd you guys pull that third out?
Oh yeah, it's just you gotta look at Coach Ruff just said one shift at a time. And you gotta look at it that way. And Spets just got a good shift in there. I got a good shift, Pat Sharp, and I just got it roofed it, and that's just the goal.
The night we met the Dallas Stars, I had one job: ask them for a picture.
You're gonna do that in the middle of the scrum?
No,
Jason, can I just get in here for a quick? Actually, no. Murphy, take the photo of us.
But honestly, yes, my job, as complicated as it sounds, is usually just like, how did you guys pull that one out? Tell me about the goal you scored, because I just do.
Oh, easy peasy.
It's news report clips. They want like highlights.
I know.
But described highlights.
And then we always see one of my favorite things is when we see Paul, when we see you in the scrums, on Sports
I always
Center.
There's the Where's Waldo kind of texts where people send me photos of me just scrambling in the background.
Just Geeta there with her phone up, big smile on her face, asking Spezza, you played a very meaningful game today. Please talk about it. Just keep talking. Keep talking.
Talk about your chances of getting into the Hall of Fame. I've made a case for it a number of times.
Spezza for Hall of Fame shirt on under your blazer.
All right, back to the Sedins now.
Okay. Oh yes. Thank you.
What I was gonna say is, this team isn't good. This team isn't going to get good for a while, it seems.
So trade the Sedins to the Stars.
But would they?
They've got bunk beds already built for them.
Yeah. Oh, Jamie and Jordy would love that.
There's only one brother toe on this Dallas Stars team. Do you guys know a thing about Pantera?
What I was gonna say is, do you see them retiring, and if they want to continue playing, maybe just playing with Moto or something?
I honestly see them retiring.
And then just playing in Sweden, as opposed to continuing their career with another NHL team.
Yeah, you know what? I have never gotten that Stanley, we want to win it and end it career.
A championship?
Yeah, they want to win a championship maybe elsewhere. I've never gotten that. We're here to win it. I just want to win a Stanley Cup, period. But I don't see them moving to Dallas, going to Dallas or going to Chicago or Tampa Bay. And if I was Jim, now if I'm getting the seat, if I'm getting the felt board, I'm going to the Sedins and I'm saying, I'll move you anywhere you want. I'll retain $4 or $5 million of your remaining salary, so it's easy to move anywhere you want to go. I want to make it happen.
But there's the thing, you also have to trade them as a package. You're not sending one to this corner of the continent and the other to the other.
Daniel, you're being traded to the Chicago Blackhawks. And Henrik?
You're going to Toronto!
No, Carolina Hurricanes. It's just like the Brooks-like treatment. Well, the Capitals are going to the Stanley Cup Finals here, so gear up. Except for you, Brooks. You're going to Toronto, pal. I don't know. I would do it's cold-hearted, and it kind of stems to that problem we have with the Florida Panthers of how they're cutthroat business tactics.
Yeah.
But it's a problem. I mean, we can retire. We accept Trevor Linden for his 3 years in Long Island and Montreal and Washington.
And we took him back, yeah.
And he's got two sets of dates on his retired number. We can accept the Sedins in Tampa Bay.
They are huge fans of the Detroit Red Wings.
Yeah.
Just for the record. They go in early some days to watch the games. They are still fans of the organization. And their buddy, Zetterberg, plays there. So I could see that, but they're not even really contenders anymore. So, it's sort of I could see them doing it. But at the same time, you're right. And, I mean, that's what people maybe have faulted them on. They're not the killer instinct. Stanley Cup is the first goal, I think. Yeah. And it's hard to fault them for it. They grew up in Sweden. They may not have been huge NHL fans.
Right.
They're probably stoked on life. They've got the gold medal at the Olympics. They've got a world championships. Yeah.
It's kind of like the Roberto Luongo thing. I'm not going to win a Stanley Cup, but I got all this other cool stuff.
It's reverse, though, because, Stanley Cup, it means a lot of things to a lot of players from wherever. I don't want to say it's not meaningful, but I think if you grow up in these other countries, it's sort of like there are kids in Canada who love the CFL, even though it's not the premier league in the world. It's their hometown team. Mm-hmm. And I think when you're growing up in Sweden, there's a possibility. I'm not Swedish. Yeah. We should bring in a Swedish guest where the Olympics and World Championships may mean a little bit more because they're probably more forefront in some ways. And the Swedish league, it's not even the Swedish Elite League anymore, is it? The championship, though, in Sweden would be a big deal. It would be like winning the Grey Cup or whatever. Yeah. And if you grew up there, that's a big deal.
Of course.
Yeah. And they could still have an opportunity to win the Spengler as many times as they want. The Spengler.
That seemed mean.
Really? That wasn't a shot at all. It's just a championship.
Yeah. Spengler is I don't know, it's a weird one.
I know.
A lot of logos on that jersey. My question is, before the year's done, because we keep talking about how Jason Megna is automatically the second line center because Louis Eriksson is on the second line.
Chapu?
Or is it Chapu?
So, any line that Louis gets placed on is going to be a second line?
So, what's it going to take for Willie to put out because, regardless of how you slice it, Bo Horvat's line is playing 19 minutes a night.
Right.
But he's still the third line. And no matter, you still put some stock into it.
Those things are so arbitrary.
Yeah, but what's it going to take? Because the Sedins are getting all this lovey-dovey. We're not going to trade you. We're going to put a playoff team around you. You guys are the franchise. What is it going to take for Bo Horvat's name to be the top line center in Vancouver?
Age?
2 years from now?
It's results. You saw that with the Sedins at the very end of Marcus Naslin's career, where he took a secondary role in his, would it have been his last year? I can't even remember now. It was his last year, last 2
years prior,
where all of a sudden
he didn't finish his career in Vancouver. He finished in New York.
Yeah,
half a year in New York.
Yeah,
but he finished his Vancouver years on the second line usually, or playing with the Sedins on the top line.
Yeah.
And I think you're going to have to see that as well. And I mean, right now, Bo Horvat is keeping pace with the Sedins.
Yeah.
So give him another 40 games, and the way he's been building momentum.
Yeah.
If he all of a sudden is 10, 15 points ahead of them.
Yeah.
Look out.
Then you might see Willie having to concede, yes, this is our top line center.
Willie or whoever's coaching.
The
Fair enough.
Aquilinis.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Here's your top line tonight, Willie.
I thought Dave, isn't that why he's not here tonight? Isn't he being interviewed for the Canucks coaching position?
Him and Gerard Gallant, they have an essay they got to write tonight. That's why he's
co-head coaches?
Who is your top line? There is only one.
Well, they've
right
got to
answer.
put together a PowerPoint presentation.
And one knows what they got to do. The other one knows PowerPoint, so they're going to work together and make it happen. A question here from Yerky21, and I'll ask P Mac. With Dorsett now shelved long term, will the team make a bad trade to compound its season-long ignorance of the waiver wire?
Aren't they just going to bring back Tommy Sestito? Is that the game plan? No.
Is that of all the guys on waivers that have come up, they get Sestito?
We're probably going to get Corrado first.
Oh, I love. We'll talk about Corrado in a second,
but just like, are they going to start picking up bodies to replace
all
of these missing bodies?
Toughness body kind of thing.
They might, but the funny thing is, we should be seeing some of these guys coming back. Anton Rodin, I know he's not the same type of player.
Yeah.
They keep saying he'll be back in the next month or whatever.
Okay.
I kind of think they might stick to their game plan of not, whether or not that's the right thing to do. I think they might stick to their game plan of not taking anyone off waivers unless it's a, fairly obvious home run pick up. And yeah, I know Jake is going to be punished, taught, whatever you want to call it, in the minors.
What is?
I don't think it's a punishment, but I that's sort of what it's sort of been bandied about.
It's a treat.
Circles. he could be coming up if they're really out of bodies for forwards. Although they lost another defenseman tonight. Like they're running out of people down there.
Jake
Jordan Subban's got to come up soon too.
Is Jake going to be able to come up and go down, like up and down? Like, is he mentally going to be able to handle it? It's not physically.
No, mentally or physically, no.
Yeah. So maybe just leave that one alone.
And
He's precious.
Yes.
I don't know. Like people keep saying that. I don't know if I buy into that. I think, you call him up for a couple games here or there. That might still work because you're still giving him a taste, a smell. And if you send him right back, he's still going to have that hunger building inside him.
Because you can't keep, the age-old debate is you can't keep him up here to play the fourth line. That's not what...
Right.
You didn't draft him to be Matt Cook. You drafted him to be a less handsome Todd Bertuzzi.
He's cute.
He's not Todd Bertuzzi
He's
cute.
not. Yeah, but he doesn't look like a man yet.
No, he looks... Well, he's got a dad bod.
You're saying Virtanen isn't going to...
He's got dad bod baby face.
Oh, jeez.
Virtanen isn't going to be your safe word anytime soon? Is that what we're getting?
We know that the safe word is Bertuzzi.
Another question. Actually, this was a line came up. I forget who this was from, but Alex Prewitt, he tweeted, "I'm talking analytics with an NHL executive today. If you just replaced Corsi with pucks on net,
right,
players would probably dig it. It's fucking counting."
Yeah, it's not quite as fancy as some people make it.
No,
seem.
the Corsi is very makes sense. It's the Fenwick over power play 60 divided by shorthanded shot blocks that kind of get
to
look
the
at.
nth
You
power.
need to write up a guide for what you just said, Brian. I'm not sure what you were getting at there.
Well, do you know who's the best of what I just said?
Who's what?
Chicago Blackhawks. So there you go. They got
Okay.
3 Stanley Cups.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Look, if we had our pucks on net chalkboard, we would figure this out.
And our what is that called? The abacus?
Abacus.
Abacus, sorry. If we had that and the chalkboard, we'd figure it out. But yeah, Corsi, Paul, for the most part, is shots and shot attempts.
We'll get Ryan an abacus and a dictionary for Christmas.
Well, my birthday is this week.
Oh, yeah. Well, they're one and the other. One's for birthday, one's for Christmas.
Given to me at the Pucks on at Christmas party. If you gave me an abacus for my birthday, and a dictionary would be a little insulting because we have it on our phones, and it would just be kind of like saying, it'd be like giving somebody underwear
You're inept.
Here is a bar of soap.
But you would be okay with an abacus even though you have a calculator on your phone?
Yeah, because an abacus is...
It's got beads.
It's a novelty. It looks good, and we can do basic Corsi math. Like
Basic Corsi on and out.
I would have got you a nice looking dictionary too, Ryan. Same thing.
leather bound.
2 6s of one and a dozen of the other.
I got a because you're bringing up questions.
Sure.
Squampton brought up, you're bringing up presents. Squampton asked us what our worst Christmas present we received was.
Yeah.
And I should have told you guys about this earlier, but I didn't. So you can think about this.
Is it the socks I got you?
I love those socks. You may not know this, Pucksnut listeners, but every year for my birthday, last 2 years, Geeta's got me
We've only been friends that long.
Yeah. It's what the contract says.
Yeah.
Banana and gorilla socks, hamburger and french fry socks to signify my abilities to eat fat again.
Those are from Geeta.
Yeah.
They're good socks.
Yeah.
I didn't know those are from you. That's awesome.
I'm wearing Misfit socks right now. I bought those with my own dime.
Okay, those are nice too.
Speaking, because this was a Squampton question, he'll understand we have the shared admiration for the Misfits. Anyways,
back to Squampton.
I want you guys to think about that question for the Christmas party episode on Saturday. But I've said, I don't know if I've told this story on the podcast, but it is hockey related. And so if I have, I apologize, but I want to say it again. My worst Christmas present I ever got was a Canucks Letterman jacket. And it was it was in 2008 when I had moved away from home and becoming a grown-up. And my dad had bought it and spent a lot of money on it. Like it was a $300 jacket.
Yeah.
And he acted like this was the coolest jacket, the best gift I could get my son. And he was so amped up to give it. And it was blue. It was an Orca. It was very plain. It had just the Orca logo on the chest. It was all blue.
Yeah.
It had the lines on the bottom. White leather sleeves. Like if somebody drove by in a car, like they'd be ruined. White. I look like Emilio Estevez in The Breakfast Club. So it looked like that. And I got it, and my dad was like, "That's a great jacket, huh?" And we'd started working in the hockey industry at that time, and I'm like, "Dad, when?" And I knew that he spent $300 on it because the price tag was on it. I was like, "Oh no! If this is $100, it could sit in the closet."
Right.
But this is my one gift. I'm like, "Dad, when am I gonna wear this thing?" And he's like, "You can wear it and he started to think, and then he realized that I'd gotten older, and he's like, "Oh, yeah, maybe you can't."
Not on the playground.
Yeah, and I was just like, I can't wear this anywhere. So that was, and I had the most anxiety for like 45 minutes, about an hour between opening presents and before we left. And I'm like, how am I going to tell Dad I can't? We have to return this. So that's my worst gift. I've ruined a couple of Christmases, and I think I'll tell those stories on the podcast.
I've got one in mind now that I'm going to tell on Saturday.
Awesome, and I got one. I'll just give you a little hint. The year I bought my mom an erotic candle for Christmas.
What?
Yeah.
Save that one.
It's a great story.
Oh, golly.
Yeah.
Folks,
Yeah. So,
subscribe if you haven't already.
Geeta, have I ever told you that one?
Maybe.
Okay, but
But you'll have to refresh.
I love this story. It's a great one.
Okay.
And
I'm looking forward to it.
that's
I feel kind of sick, actually.
It'll be great after a couple of drinks.
Speaking of getting sick, I want to bring this up. Shit, where's my line? Okay, the Anaheim Ducks, they lost to the Calgary Flames this weekend.
Johnny Gaudreau came back from somewhere.
He came back on his first shift, got a goal. He had his everybody's mean slashing me penalties or injury.
Bear's a baby face.
Oh yeah, that's a baby. The key to this game was the Ducks lost 8-3, and Randy Carlyle did not take Jonathan Bernier out of the game.
Okay.
And it wasn't a we have to keep you in, kind of like Al Montoya this year, and it wasn't teaching him a lesson. He couldn't take John Gibson out.
Okay.
He couldn't put John Gibson in, because John Gibson had diarrhea.
Oh, no.
So that was why he had to sit in there for 8 goals. And I just don't know why you don't hear more about that.
And they were open about it, though.
Yeah.
That's interesting. It's sort of like Bob's Burgers or something. It's odd to be that open about diarrhea.
It's one of those taboo.
Well, Roberto Luongo, he didn't come out and say it for years that he missed the start of the overtime Game 5 against the Ducks in 2007 because he was in the bathroom.
Jane Austen?
What's the question?
Jeopardy.
Asked if he read
That was a
novels.
really odd name to throw out in the middle of a conversation.
Philosopher Gilbert
about
Gilbert.
diarrhea.
Gilbert Ryle. Let's see if Geeta got it. She did.
Gilbert Ryle wasn't he a Vancouver Giants star forward?
Look
for
at
a while?
that.
Oh, she was right. Okay, so Geeta got Jane Austen.
Just me and loyal listener Brown to Bray, probably.
Yeah, you guys are both Jeopardy enthusiasts. So I'm surprised that people aren't, if somebody asks, well, why wasn't he on the bench? I guess maybe you covered up by saying he was in concussion protocol like Connor McDavid, as opposed to getting dehydrated from going to the bathroom too much.
Well, would you not have just said he has the stomach flu or something like that? That seems a little more politically correct.
He was under the weather. He had a lower body injury.
Randy Carlyle is not politically correct.
Hey, you know what?
And that might just be exactly it. It's a personality. It's the person. Like if I was speaking to media, I might say he's got the stomach bug.
So if you had that
Yeah.
and you missed the next podcast,
Well, I'm a lady. You would never announce to them, well, Geeta's got a severe diarrhea.
Ryan might.
I'm just
Paul would be offended and appalled.
I would.
Listen, we are based in Vancouver, like a hockey team.
Yeah.
They need media training. Maybe I don't want that to slip up.
Yeah.
So maybe we just need to work on what we say in case one of us comes up with diarrhea.
But anyway,
that's no fun. That's no fun.
If anyone gets diarrhea here, it's a concussion.
Can I just say,
Geeta has a concussion.
oh,
Paul's not on the podcast this week. He has a concussion.
everyone has concussions.
We all went out for Mexican food and we all got concussions. Remember when you ate that rancid pork and you got that really bad concussion? Do you remember that?
I just threw up that time, right?
7 cups of coffee, big concussion. As you were saying, Mr. McClellan?
Wow, yeah, I love following anything up
About
after
concussions.
that. Yeah, I was just going to say from the Ducks game, the Ducks were just in Vancouver too, but as far as coaches go, Carlisle is one of the better ones to chat with. Very amicable, outgoing, open.
Yeah.
Is he open?
Joking around with us. Like, yeah, I had sort of forgotten. I hadn't talked to him in a little while, and he was a pleasure to chat with.
Now, is he
last week?
Is he open to a fault like Willie?
He doesn't seem like Willie. He's more of like very
an NHL coach.
Oh, jeez.
Comfortable.
Very casual. Like he knows what to say and what not to say.
Yeah.
He's been doing it for a while.
Yeah.
Trying to think, was it Ed Willis, one of the classic Vancouver writers, came up to him that knows him from way back, and they were joking around as I got there, and just very at ease. Where you get other coaches that even after a win will sometimes be a little uptight.
Yeah, well, some people just aren't comfortable with the media.
Yeah, give you those 2 minutes worth of answers and take off. But he just hung out, was very open, anyway. So I can see him saying diarrhea because he's more of like your fun uncle.
Concussion.
Yeah.
Not like a goofy uncle necessarily, but fun-loving, like crack some jokes.
He's
uncle
comfortable.
over.
He's confident. He's got the track record to back up saying whatever the heck he
I
wants.
I can see him saying that though in my brief experiences with
If
him.
Willie was more of a winning coach, because he hasn't, unfortunately, and I mean, yes, partly he's to blame, but again, like if he was a proven coach in the NHL with a Stanley Cup and things, do you think he'd be a little bit looser?
Mm-hmm.
You want to be loosey-goosey. Get him to watch School of Rock.
Or is this his personality? He's reserved, or he's a little bit flummoxed, you know?
You also, if you watch the 24/7, you'd realize that Randy Carlyle was a total dad.
Yeah.
Like I remember, they scolded I believe it was Tyler Bozak and Kessel for being late.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, and in total dad way, he's like, "Way to be late, guys." And then somebody said that to Phil, and then Randy just said, "Ooh, burn," like a dad would say. And so it was really. I saw a dad. Yeah. I saw a lame dad who watched an episode of that 70s show and really liked them say, "Burn."
Did we get that sponsorship before I forget for those snow racers?
Oh, I can get that up.
We are playing that?
Yeah.
They're our new sponsor?
Yeah, while I bring it up, we have a new sponsor. Yeah, big sponsor. Last
Do we have multiple sponsors?
We're still working with Brazzers and Apothic Red.
Yeah, we want the Apothic Red E edition, crisp right in time for holiday season. We're working on a Pucks on Net fleshlight from Brazzers.
Ew.
And this next sponsorship coming up. Paul, you accept the sponsors for who and what they are and what they offer.
We're really excited about those partnerships.
And
we look forward to working with them.
With the booze and the flashlight, yeah.
With the booze and the boobs.
Oh my!
There was a bunch of.
I'm quitting the podcast again.
No, quit on Saturday night because then we're done for 2016. Geeta, friend of the show, Stephanie Pagani had a couple questions when we were worried about content last week.
Yeah.
She had a bunch of questions that came in late.
Sure.
And when I did put the same weekly tweet about...
Is she in a different area? Like time zone?
She works hard for her money.
So hard.
Sometimes she's working the late shift.
I'm just...
What are you implying she does?
I didn't...
Anyway, so she missed it by about 20 minutes. So she asked if we would answer these questions from last week.
We will.
The first question was... were Ross and Rachel on a break?
No.
Who are Ross and Rachel?
From Friends?
It is not okay.
What if so there should have been outlines and rules put in place before this break?
I feel like guys make shit up.
Oh.
They just articulate things to justify things to themselves.
But define a break.
That was not a break. A break is we're taking a break from our relationship. I don't remember either of them saying we're going to try and see other people or it's okay to see other people.
Okay.
Or sleep with other people. In Ross's case.
Did Ron and Hermione take a break? Was that what happened in the 7th Harry Potter book? I forget.
They weren't even dating. They made out in the middle of the great
Ron
battle.
and Hermione were dating.
They were not dating. They were in the heat of the moment. They made out.
They were a thing.
They had a thing for each other.
And then Ron took off like a baby.
Ron's a little bitch.
The other thing
I'm glad I could turn that around into something I understood.
The other thing that Stephanie asked was she wants you, Geeta, to look at an account and say which tweet is the most traumatizing to you.
Okay.
The account is Nature is Scary. So you could
to do that in advance.
You can do that on your own time, but I will request that you reach out to Pagani and do this Nature is Scary.
Now you're just facilitating our relationship.
Yeah, just trying to get the wheels
nice.
going.
She's nice.
All right, we
had a beer with her a while back.
Let's go to our sponsorship here.
Sorry, what's that Twitter?
Nature is Scary. So because we are now in a snow-locked death ice storm kingdom that is Vancouver, we want things to sponsor the show that have a lot to do with the common man in Vancouver. Paul, would you not agree? Something that everybody can use.
Paul's the most common man here.
We're about as common as you can get, especially me.
And what is Vancouver's favorite hockey player?
It's got to be home province hero Brett Hull.
Penticton's own.
Brett Hull talks about winning.
Winning doesn't happen by accident. You got to know what you're going for from the start. You got to think like a winner. Of course, I've got to make sure I have the right equipment.
Jockstrap.
And I'm part of a great team.
The Blues.
And that helps a lot.
And the Flames. And the Stars. And the Red Wings.
If you want to be a winner, you got to think like a winner.
The original Noma GT Snow Racer and the whole winning team, each sold separately. Now with a Brett Hull action poster. Think like a winner.
I knew so many people growing up that had that Brett Hull poster somewhere in the house.
Did they have the racer too?
Yeah, I had her. Well, I grew up in Calgary. Well, my formative years, so I had access to the racer and snow and a good hill.
Mm-hmm.
But I made the joke to Sheila, disgruntled former employee Sheila, that I need a GT or. That she was reporting that she would sit at the bottom of Oak Street where it's really steep, and it would just be her reporting for CTV News as buses slid down the mountain, and then me as well on a GT snow race, just like whee!
That would have looked amazing.
And then bam, right into a bus.
I always wished I had one, but we had a toboggan that I'm pretty sure was built in the 1950s. We were poor.
Oh, I'm working class, so.
You and your Brett Hull posters.
Geeta looks flustered.
Oh, sorry. I have to sneeze.
Oh, she has a concussion.
I thought it was that Twitter account she's been looking at.
Nature is scary.
Okay, I think it's past.
Did you have a GT snow racer?
No, but what
Neil?
did it look like?
Like a little cart.
Kind of like a tricycle, but with sled.
And you could fit
skis
2 people on it.
No, we had like regular toboggan-y type things.
How about the poor kid that would go down the hill on a garbage bag?
That's what I was just going to bring up.
The poor
because our elementary school had these like hills on the back of the field, like that lined the field. So everybody would just like take plastic bags and garbage bags because we couldn't have like sleds or anything like that. The hills weren't that big, and we'd just slide down them.
And then one kid would always get hurt, and the snow would turn a shade of crimson.
Somebody would shove a big ice ball down the back of your jacket.
God. Yeah. Full of rocks.
Oh, you know it.
So traumatic childhood aside, I think that will wrap it up for this week's podcast. A much looser podcast. We're gearing up for our favorite time of the year, the break, when we don't have to do podcasts. And also for the 4th annual
when we
Pucksnet.
don't have to see each other once a week.
Yes.
Thank goodness.
So this episode will come out late Tuesday night, Wednesday morning. And depending on how good of a shaker the 4th annual Pucksnet Christmas party is,
I hear open bar.
it is open bar. So if you're a fan of discount local gin and vodka, I know you are.
It'll be another vodcast.
Is the Pothic not sending us a case?
They listen. They want to sponsor us. They want you on the boxes. But it's the antiquated liquor laws. They're trying to get it over the border.
Look,
There's trucks at the border.
This guy's
Are they
starting
like local? Look, we will film them a commercial if they want it.
It'd just be you drinking, watching Jeopardy.
It's fine. It's adorable.
Ryan's starting to sound like Donald Trump here. Oh, they've got this, and we're gonna have that, and they want you.
It's not my problem. It's their problem.
If you want me, Apothic Red, come and get me.
And for Pucks on Net listeners, if you're still listening at this point, which most of you are, send any Christmas wishes, any Christmas gifts you have for hockey players. I'll put this tweet out, I'd love emails from people that we don't interact with on Twitter. So if you have a gift for a hockey player, a gift for fans, a gift for a team, or you just have some Christmas wishes you have for us or the listeners, or just about anybody, send them our way, email, Facebook, Twitter, all that jazz. And a quick shout out to Michael from Mount Pleasant. He bought one of their last few Pucks on Net t-shirts with intentions to take the goalie mask and sew it onto a baby's onesie, and they're expecting with
Congratulations.
Mrs. Mike from Mount Pleasant.
Our faces on a baby.
Yeah. So we'll look forward to that.
I can't wait to see that adorable picture.
So just all the best with their impending
arrival.
Thank you. And we're thinking of you. So send us an email when it's when the little bundle of joy is out. And coming up for the Christmas party, it should be a great one. And if you want to give us a Christmas gift, all we ask is that you rate and review the podcast on iTunes. That's the best thing you could do to help us out. Maybe like us on Facebook, but just follow us on Twitter at PucksNetCA or PucksNetCa.
Go!
And if we're verified with no CA, we will still do the cause just because the look that Paul just gave me warms my heart. And I have to do one more quick shout out to a listener, a loyal listener.
Taking so long.
Yeah, I know. Ryan Hank, who writes the blog Always 94. He lives out in Kelowna. He wore a Pucks on Net t-shirt to the Rockets game, which we were doing for Shaw. And he knows that I go on the road to do these games. And he said, what's it going to take to get me on TV? I said, wear your Pucks on Net shirt and we'll talk. He showed up, and he was on the bench's side, which means our cameras could pick him up.
Yeah.
And he, once, hockey game broadcasts are very stressful, but the second intermission, we had some time, and I asked our tight follow man, hardest job in sports broadcasting is doing tight follow. But I said, you look for a guy in a Pucks on Net t-shirt behind the visitor bench. And within about 5 seconds, he found him. So we got him on air. So I want to thank you for, I don't want to say whoring himself out, but he wore the shirt.
Warring himself.
He's doing good work.
He's doing
Always
God's work.
94, we're fans of you.
Yes, and you warmed the cockles of Ryan's heart.
Oh, I want to end the show on that sassy line.
Not sassy, it's just scripted.
Rock, move,